All right, guys, let's talk about twin flames. This concept is being thrown around nowadays because we are stepping into a higher conscious living. Last year, or this year, but it's about to be the end, 2025, is a year of transformation. If you add up all of the numbers, it gives you the number 9. 9 in numerology has the vibration of ending of old cycles, of letting go, of shedding, of also higher consciousness, higher awareness of yourself. This is why in this year you felt called to move, you felt called to change, you felt called to finally do what you've been holding on to, an idea that you've had, a vision for yourself for so much time. You finally took the jump to embrace this authentic version of yourself. And so next year, 2026, is a new universal cycle of a new beginning, of leadership, of the foundation you set now you want to grow and build upon it. And because we are all stepping into a higher consciousness, a higher awareness of ourselves and our connection with the world around us, we are looking for purpose and meaning in our relationships, in our life, in everything that we do. This is why people are looking for answers. Is this person my soulmate? Is this person my twin flame? Who is this person? Why are they in my life? This is what people are asking nowadays. So the purpose of this video is to enlighten you. What is a twin flame? Why do twin flames exist? Are you in a twin flame connection? And what is the twin flame connection like? What are the stages? Stay tuned. So, twin flame, for you guys to understand, we learned everything about the world from our ancient ancestors, right? Back in ancient Egypt, Greece, right? We studied, or our ancient ancestors studied the universe and the stars for clarity. They always went within. They went within to gain clarity on why the universe operated in the way that it did. Why was life the way that it was? And we know through esoteric, philosophical, we know through folktale, through stories written in the Bible, right, that everyone has a divine counterpart. Everyone has someone for them. In a sense, God created us in pairs, right? You have the masculine and you have the feminine. But this is not the same as a twin flame. And the reason being is because just when you listen to the concept of twin flame, why is it twin flame? Why is it called or pronounced that instead of your divine person? Your other half. Why is it not that? Why is it a twin flame? Now, when we look at esoteric books, when we look at the oldest books that talk about a soul splitting into two, starts maybe late 1800s. There's times where they speak about the second route. I don't want to say second route, but another way in which souls come into manifestation. And it's not just a divine half. It's not your person that you're supposed to be with. But in these other texts, they are speaking about souls that come into the physical manifestation for a specific purpose. But they are one soul split into two. Two halves is a concept. But it's not entirely what the twin flame connection is. Let me help you understand. Twin flame is a twin, is a second you, but with the goal to bring a fire to the illusions in your life, to everything that you think that you are, so you can step into your most authentic self. This is the purpose of an authentic twin flame connection. The reason that twin flame, the relationship type, is rare, and it's not just the person that you're with or you like, or everyone has a twin flame. The reason it's not that is because you have to understand this disrupts the incarnation cycle. The reason being is because twin flames come from one monad. They come from one stream of consciousness. They come from one source. So think of a monad as like the ocean, right? And then think of a soul, like a person, as a wave, right? And it's typical for one source to create one. But in this case, this one source of consciousness, of awareness, split in both a masculine and a feminine counterpart. It created two from one. And the reason it created two and not just one from one is to rapidly disintegrate the conditioning of the soul, so the soul can heal and enlighten and overcome the incarnation cycle. And in order for it to do this, the soul needs to become enlightened. This is why it is rare, because everyone is not created equal. Everyone does not have the capacity, the willpower, the strength, the mentality, the faith to become spiritually illuminated. Because the spiritually illuminated, the people who are designed to walk this path, they have it the hardest. They have it the hardest in life, that normal souls don't have the strength or the capacity to endure. So very advanced souls are twin flames. This is why the relationship type of a twin flame, if you actually hear from someone who is a monadic, an authentic twin flame, they do not wish the connection on anybody, because the purpose of the relationship is for spiritual enlightenment, is to return to your original Christ consciousness self. One that is operating from divine love. One does not need or feels absent of anything. One that is not in fear. So in order for you to dissolve fear, for you to dissolve desire, for you to transcend your human 3D avatar, you need to have gone through many initiations that bring you to your knees in surrendering of a higher power. This is what the twin flame connection is all about. It's all about surrendering to the divine because of what is going to happen in your life. So the most authentic, genuine twin flame relationship type is the monadic relationship type, because you guys come from one monad, one source, manifested and split into two polarizing identities. But you guys are acting as a mirror, masculine and feminine, here in the 3D. And so when you meet your divine other half, your divine identity, it's you in a sense, right? They act as a catalyst for spiritual evolution, for spiritual growth. They rapidly cause the soul to purge, to bring consciousness to the unconscious, bring light into the darkness that is in you. And so the relationship type is very chaser and runner. One is always running away. One is chasing. Chasing isn't always like, I'm running after you, I need you in my life. But the energy of chase is when you feel like someone has more than you, or when you're always thinking of someone from a place of above, like they are above you. This is when you are chasing them. You feel less than them. You feel like they have more than you. You feel like they can give you something that you cannot give of yourself. So there is always one person, which is oftentimes the feminine. And feminine is not gender specific. So the feminine can be a man. The feminine can be a woman. And the masculine is also not gender specific. The masculine can be a man or a woman. This just embodies their unique energy type, right? So the feminine has to do with like being able to surrender and trust and receive and flow. Masculinity is all about making decisions, is taking leadership, is in discipline. So one rules in intuition, one rules in discipline, right? And so if you just think about that, one stream of consciousness manifesting into two individuals, masculine and feminine, of the same same source. When they meet each other, it's not going to be like, I love you. And the reason why it's not going to be like, I love you and I need you, and is because of their ego, of their trauma, of their previous conditioning that they experienced from a very young age. And because you are dealing with two advanced souls, these are people or beings that often feel like they don't need anyone in their life. They don't feel like they need anyone in their life. As much as they may want people in their life, they've dealt with a great deal of trauma that has taught them to become very independent. I don't need anyone. I can do it on my own. I can do it on my own. But what's preventing them from coming into unity is lower emotions, lower vibrations, the ego, previous conditioning, pain. This is what is preventing them from aligning to their most authentic self and coming into union. So this relationship is not about love. It's not about, oh, let's go on a date and let's do this and let's hang out and, let's spend time together. That's not how a twin flame connection type is. That's not how it feels like. It feels like this person is divinely connected to you. You feel like you speak to them telepathically. You sense them in your dreams. It doesn't matter how much time or where you are in your life, you feel them with you every now and then, whether it's like unconsciously or subconsciously. You just can't get the gist. You can't shake them off of you because this person, you guys share the same monad. You guys are from the same source. So this is the authentic twin flame connection type. And the way that this manifests is in several stages. Is the meeting, is when you meet your twin flame from a place of like, all right, now it's time. Now you guys have gone through a level of spiritual awakening to where when you guys first meet, there is a bit of like a spark. Then there is a separation period that happens for years. It can happen for a very, very long time. Then there is a second union because the first time was a meeting. Then there was an activation during the separation period. Then there is a reunion. And then there is another separation period. And then there is a final reunion. And the reason that the monadic twin flame relationship operates like this is because, again, this is you meeting yourself. Divine feminine and divine masculine, they oftentimes live a very synchronistic life to yours. They do things just like you, but they have what you want. Why? Because they're the masculine and you're the feminine, or you're the masculine and they're the feminine. So if you're the feminine, they are winning in the 3D reality. They're probably financially well off. They're probably rich, right? But you being the divine feminine knows how to trust in the divine. You live in the present moment. You live in flow. You are better in relationships. You're better in being empathetic and understanding because this is your personality type. You are the feminine. They're the masculine. So what you have, how you are, is the exact opposite. And they need that. That's what they're working on, but they can't seem to master. And the physical, you're trying to master as the feminine. You're trying to get wealthy. You're trying to manifest, materialize your visions, but you struggle in that. So again, you guys come from one monad, one source stream of consciousness manifested in the physical incarnation. And so the reason that the stages are like this, where you meet and then you separate for a long time and then you reconnect and then you separate for a long time, is because they act as a catalyst for spiritual growth. This is the purpose of a twin flame connection. It's spiritual illumination. It's awakening your inner being, your soul to remember itself, from which it comes from, your true authentic self. And the only way that the soul can grow is through love or through heartbreak. We learn the most when we are in love, because we step up and we want to do for someone else. We see ourselves, change. And we also grow when we are in pain and in heartbreak because we become aware of what we were not aware of. Old behaviors, habits, things that don't serve us. Because we experience a separation in this love, it forces us to reflect and think, what did we do wrong? This is how we grow, right? But this twin flame connection is two beings from one monad, one source, here in the physical. And the reason that it is rare is because these are advanced souls that are on the precipice of ending a reincarnation cycle. They are souls that reincarnated over and over and over again. They live many lifetimes. So they're very wise people. They're very successful people, purpose-driven people. And because they're wise people, they don't live normal lives. They don't really go to clubs. They don't really have a whole lot of relationships. They're led by a higher power, or they're led by manifesting the best version of themselves in that lifetime. So they struggle in normal society because they don't have that programming. Their soul is of a different frequency. It's not of a normal earth-like nature. And so they trigger each other. And when they trigger each other, the masculine runs, because the masculine is the masculine, the most disciplined, right? Seeks control because of their upbringing, because of the trauma they went through when they grew up. Because of how they grew up, it forced them to feel safe. Again, these are advanced souls, so they go through a lot of trauma. Their life is very traumatic. Notice how in this video, I'm not talking anything about love. I'm speaking about things they have to go through. Their purpose. Uncomfortable experiences and situations that are predetermined in their path. For what? For the purpose of spiritual enlightenment. The purpose of a twin flame connection is spiritual enlightenment. It's not about, oh, I want you and I love you and let's date and let's... No, you don't just go on dates with twin flame. You can't just reach out to them because, again, they went through certain things. You went through certain things. So you guys activate and trigger each other like no one else. They act as a great catalyst for you to become aware of what you are not aware of places in your life that you don't feel the most confident in, work you need to do. So after you meet them, but when you meet them, let's start there. When you meet them, the time that you meet them oftentimes is when you've gone through a bit of a spiritual initiation, a spiritual awakening. You went through a bit of a spiritual awakening and you're like following your intuition. So you're following your intuition, you're attacking fear, you're not letting anything block you, right? And because you're going against low vibrations, right? And you're overcoming them, you act as a magnet for the first attraction of your other half. And the person that often knows that this person is a twin flame or some divine connection, there's a divine connection that one person just innately knows in their being, is often the feminine. And the reason why is because the feminine, again, intuition is feminine. Spirituality, the most spiritual person is the feminine. And so they receive higher wisdom through the unseen. They're more psychic. They study spirituality. So intuitively, they know there's something divine here. So you two meet, the feminine has a feeling that there is something divine. And the reason being is because before you meet them, the experience that you have feels very divinely fated. There's synchronistic things that happen that are very magical, but it feels like the world is stopping for this fated event for you to meet this person. And you can't really explain why. And they excite you more than anything else. It feels like you're about to meet God. Like there's a level of excitement and thrill that you can't really explain. And it feels like the world is slowing down and stopping, all for you to meet this person. Then, when you separate from that person, from your twin flame, it acts as an activation for the feminine. Oftentimes, monadic relationship, you're going to experience a partial Kundalini awakening. There's going to be a level of an ego death happening when you separate, because they're going to trigger you like no one else. Old wounds are going to surface. You're going to start seeing, parts of your mind that don't align with your most higher self. You're going to start seeing where you're not confident. You're going to start feeling like you're less than them. Why do they have more money than me? Or why did they leave me? Or, all of the lower vibrations, those lower frequencies, the pain programming and the old identity and self-concept are going to surface. And this is where you guys experience the separation period. You live your own life, they live their own life. And the only time that you can manifest a union with this person, oftentimes is not from intention. You're not intending to reunite with this person. It often just happens. But when it happens, it's because you have learned many lessons. You've been listening to your intuition. You've been doing your work. You've been living in your mission, right? You've been trying your best in the field that you are in. And as a result, you raise your frequency to a place of self-love and self-acceptance versus where you were before, where you just desired them. Desire is a low emotion. So you raise your inner vibration and your frequency. Therefore, you activate this magnetic pull. That's the feminine quality, is a place of magnetism. You activate your own magnetism from a place of confidence. This is when you begin attracting a reunion with your divine partner, twin flame. And this reunion is not the final reunion. This reunion is like another test. It's like you meet this person and you're seeing or feeling aspects about them that you may not align with. And they're also showing you parts of yourself that need healing, right? In this time that you're with them. And it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a few months. And then again comes a great separation that triggers and activates codes within you two for spiritual enlightenment. You guys are gonna probably go through a Kundalini awakening. The other person is gonna go through a Satori, which is an instant knowing and a realization of their purpose on life and why things happened the way it did, right? You two are both going to be on your path towards your Christ-like self. And the more you follow your path and you raise your vibration and you do your work, this is how you become a strong magnet for you to attract your twin flame. This is what the twin flame connection is like. It's not a normal, hey, what's up? Let's hang out. Okay, I like you. You're my twin flame. This is not how it works. This is not how it works. You guys are two souls in the physical incarnation here on earth to break the reincarnation cycle. So you both have to experience an ego death, a Kundalini awakening, identity shifts. It is a very, you guys live a very unorthodox lifestyle of many lessons and initiations, because they are served to help you remember your purpose and why you're here and your previous lifetime. This is the nomadic twin flame relationship. Now, the second twin flame connection is similar to the I keep saying nomadic, but it's monadic. This is the monadic because you guys come from the same monad. Now, the second twin flame connection type is a monadic relationship type as well, but your souls are not earthbound. Your souls are starseed, which means that you and your half, your twin flame, have lived many lifetimes, but in different planets, in different realms, right? Maybe in Pleiades, and Andromeda, in these other dimensions and realms. You guys have lived many lifetimes. And of course, you guys have lived many lifetimes because you guys are advanced souls. This is not a path that the average soul picks because it is too difficult. You're clearing karma. And it is in this one lifetime that you are purifying and purging and healing your soul and remembering your past traumas from different lifetimes and your family, and you don't get along with your family because you have such a wise soul and a strong vibration that you feel everything around you. So you are always by yourself. And the reason you're always by yourself is because you are feeling emotions from previous lifetimes. You are feeling the pain of remembrance from different lifetimes. So it is not a common relationship type. It is not a common embodiment. It's only 1% of souls are advanced enough to come into Earth in this time period that we are in as twin flames to end the reincarnation cycle. So this will be your last lifetime. Now, the starseed monadic twin flame, your purpose is in service. So once you guys spiritually illumine, activate your higher consciousness, embody Christ consciousness, right? What happens is when you magnetize your twin flame, right? Every time that you separate from your twin flame, if you are a starseed, it's going to help you activate certain codes. And these codes are going to help you remember where you are from, where your soul is from. So it's going to activate soul remembrance, your soul's mission, your psychic gifts. This is what the separations are going to do for you when you separate from your twin flame. They're going to activate you so you can step into your most authentic self. So when you reunite with your twin flame, from what I've studied, again, you guys aren't in need of each other because you are operating from your divine essence, the version of you before you went through the pain and the trauma, pure love, divine love, right? So there isn't going to be a need for each other anymore. It's going to be pure. Because it's pure, when you come together, it's going to activate unity consciousness. Higher DNA is going to unlock. And because it's going to unlock, your work is helping the collective consciousness, doing grid work, right? Living in service. So Starseed Twin Flame Connection is all about spiritual illumination for you to do work and act as a spiritual leader on earth right now. So if this sounds like you, this is your purpose. This is the purpose of the Twin Flame Connection for you, is ultimately for you to embody your Christ self and to live in your purpose, to be of service. Now, for the standard monadic relationship, your purpose in the Twin Flame Connection is the reunion, is the final union. Because you have to understand, if you get to a place where you can magnetize your twin flame back into your 3D reality, your frequency has broken the matrix. It's of the highest that you can experience of pure self-love, of enlightenment. And so as a result, this is going to activate the field in and around you, because before you even attract your twin flame, you have to experience an ego death and a Kundalini awakening, which is going to break through your heart chakra. Your heart is the strongest electromagnetic force field, and it's around you 6 to 12 feet, I believe. I know it's at least 6 feet, but it's gonna span around you, so much so that anyone that comes into your field is going to be activated. So you're going to be able to heal people. You're going to be able to manifest 3 times more, 3 times faster. You and your partner are going to experience telepathy because, again, you guys are coming into union. So your purpose in the monadic twin flame relationship is just the union itself. The union is going to dissolve the matrix. Your field around you, the frequency you guys embody, are going to naturally start healing and activating people around you. Now, the purpose for monadic starseed twin flames is service. After they come into union, activate unity consciousness, operating from a higher frequency of Christ-like consciousness, their purpose is in service. Now, the last twin flame connection is like the oversoul connection. It's like a higher level soul romantic connection. And this is just where you and someone, you guys just feel divinely connected. Like you feel connected to this person. They can mirror you. They reflect traumas that you have to heal from, and they help you in healing those. But this relationship is not an authentic twin flame connection, because you guys, your purpose isn't to end the reincarnation cycle. It's just this person is your person, like they're your soulmate. But you guys don't experience any of these stages as the actual genuine twin flame connection type, where you meet, you separate, you go through ego death. That's not what you go through in this connection. There is no need for an ego death in this soul level relationship type. Or karmic relationship type, where you meet someone and you like them and you're with them for 2-3 years and they teach you so much. And again, you feel like it's divine, right? Like you met them for a reason. We meet everyone for a reason, but this relationship is just to show you unconscious aspects of yourself where you have to heal for the next person. But the twin flame connection is all about spiritual enlightenment. It's all about service. It's all about embodying your higher timeline, so that way you can transcend and end the reincarnation cycle. So this is a very difficult path for anyone to walk on. This is a very difficult path. This is not for the faint of heart. I can't even begin to explain to you guys my personal journey of my life and the successes and the failures and so many things I've tried. It doesn't make logical sense. Even if you were to ask my friends and my peers, it doesn't make sense, because my life, the purpose of my life, has always been spiritual enlightenment. You don't reach spiritual enlightenment through reaching success in a business, through reaching your goals. You reach enlightenment by being stripped of everything. My life is a manifestation of being stripped from everything. I've been homeless. I've tried 10 different businesses. Why am I not a multi-millionaire yet? Because that's not my path. That's not what was gonna activate my Christ-like self of divine love and not of human love, which is transactional love. It was only gonna feed my ego if I became successful from a very young age. It wasn't gonna purify me. I needed to be homeless so I can be purified, so I can look at someone and be grateful that, damn, at least I have a house, at least I have this, at least I have that. So I'm a positive person, right? And I create content. Why? Because it's in my divine mission. If I'm not living in my divine mission, I'm not gonna be fulfilled. I'm not gonna be embodying my higher timeline, right? So yeah, guys, I just wanted to make this video to help you guys understand, like, there's no hype around a twin flame connection. There's no hype around it, right? Whoever is meant to be in your life, they're gonna come into your life, right? There are trauma bonds and soul ties and karmic relationships. There's so many relationships. Just because you love someone, that's not your twin flame. Trust me, because it is not about love. It's about love to self. It's about spiritual enlightenment, right? But now in the lower tier twin flame connection types, like an oversoul connection type, right? That's like the soulmate connection type. You may experience some some Kundalini awakenings every now and then, but it's not going to completely rise and break through the cosmic egg, right? It's not meant to dissolve and really break your ego, because that's not what that can do for you. That's not, it can't do that. It's you're not, I don't know, picked. You're not picked. Like, that's not a part of your unique predetermined path here on earth, right? And that's okay. There's no ego in me saying that, right? But just know this is what a twin flame connection is all about. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. I will answer them. But yeah, I'm not a twin flame coach. I'm far from that. I'm just speaking from my personal experience and the books that I've read. But yeah, I specifically help people shift their identity and transform themselves. That's my unique expertise. So if you want help in that and getting unstuck and aligning towards your higher self, unlocking your purpose, feel free to click the link below. And yeah, guys, comment below what you guys took out of this video so I can speak on it in another video. Thanks for watching.